Pink Pony.
That's Deputy Sprout to you?
Hey guys, it's me, the blue man with the pink hair, and I decided for today's video, we were going to go back and compare the designs of Friendship is Magic and the G3 series, to see whose designs were better, whose personalities changed, and also see how the world of the My Little Pony universe changed in just 8 years. I'm going to start comparing the main 6, since they were the easiest, then we will work our way down to the more obscure characters. Also, I will be excluding G3.5 altogether, as to make things less confusing. Well, I think I've said enough. Let's go.
Wow, catchy.
Now, Twilight Sparkle was actually more interesting than I thought. Originally, I was just going to compare the Twilight Sparkle with Twilight Twinkle. Turns out, though, the inspiration for Twilight Sparkle in G4 was both Twilight Twinkle from G3 and Twilight from G1. Well, it gets even more crazy when you realize that there's actually 2 Twilights in G1. There's the Pegasus, and then there's the Unicorn. So, let's compare them all. So the first thing to note about Twilight Twinkle is that she shares a lot of the design of Twilight from G4, with the purple to even the patterns in her hair. Looking at the cutie mark, they are remarkably the same. Big difference, however, is that Twilight Twinkle never actually appeared in the G3 movies or media, only in toy form. So yeah, not much to go off for personality. Now, as for the Twilight in G1, which I will talk about the Unicorn version first, then go into the Pegasus version. Now, the only thing design-wise that is the same is the purple eyes, and the cutie mark has some similarities. But fun fact, this design for Twilight was actually used for Twilight's mother. So, that's something. Now, as for personality, they do actually share some things. First, the G1 Unicorn Twilight is very motherly and overprotective, which could have been a big inspiration for Twilight being such a caring friend, and is probably why Laura decided to make her the key to the magic of friendship. Speaking of Laura, this unicorn is actually voiced by somebody by the name of Laura Dean. Now, the G1 Unicorn Twilight can only do one thing, and that's teleportation.
After her!
And she doesn't get much character development as our Twilight does. Now, the similarities grow further when we compare the G4 Twilight to the G1 Pegasus Twilight. The only thing we have is that the Pegasus Twilight is a brave Pegasus, which is what Twilight becomes when she becomes an alicorn. Other than that, there aren't many design similarities between the two, except for the purple coat. But it could be said that since there's a Pegasus and a Unicorn Twilight, that could have been the inspiration for Laura making Twilight Sparkle an alicorn.
Wow, catchy.
Oh, good darling, you're here. Welcome to Ponyville. I'm Rainbow Dash. We have lots of big surprises in store today. A special new baby pony, Sparkleberry Swirl, is coming to Ponyville for a visit. Everyone's so excited to meet her. But even more exciting is the upcoming Friendship Ball. All of the ponies are busy organizing a big friendship ball, darling. Twinkle Twirl is working out a dance performance, Amberlocks is busy helping everyone with their outfits, and Cotton Candy has been baking for days. It's all going well so far, but we really need your help to get started. First, you'll need to sign in.
The design of Rainbow Dash in G3 is actually super similar to the Rainbow Dash of G4. However, she's just an Earth Pony in G3, which makes her cutie mark make no sense. Weirdly enough, it's actually this Rainbow Dash that owns a boutique, instead of Rarity. I thought this was weird and I still do, but for some reason I prefer this voice instead of the G4 voice, weirdly enough. The personalities are totally switched, and that's easily seen in the G3 episode Rainbow Dash Party, where she throws a dress-up party.
Hi! What are you doing under all these clothes?
Oh, dressing up to get some fun ideas for a dress-up party.
I don't really like Rainbow Dash owning boutique, but obviously that could just be me being a G4 lover. But once again, very nice voice. Fluttershy. Now, sadly, there isn't much to go off of with the G3 Fluttershy, except for the fact that the G3 Fluttershy and the G4 Fluttershy's colors are just swapped. Look at the yellow strands in the mane and the pink fur on the G3 Fluttershy. Laura just swapped them around in G4, which turns out to be very unique. Now the main difference is that the G3 Fluttershy is far from shy. She's known for taking pictures of her friends, and she likes to window shop. Although there isn't any media releases, there is a toy release, where we can clearly see they share a very similar cutie mark. Also, I want to make a special note that Posey from G1 is almost the exact same pony, and was Laura's inspiration for G4 Fluttershy.
Yes, 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 yes. My cookies.
Now, Pinkie Pie is basically the same in both generations, except for the colors. Nothing special is here except for Laura just switched her mane and her fur colors around, which, looking at the G3 pony, I think it was for the best. Though, both versions are fine, and I even own the G3 My Little Pony game, Pinkie Pie's Party, where their personalities are basically equal. The only real difference is that the G3 Pinkie Pie is a lot more crazy and wacky, and the G3 Pinkie Pie is just a good party thrower and super poppy. G3 and G4 Pinkie Pie are also bakers. I love the baking side of Pinkie Pie, and I'm glad it carried over to G4. In terms of the voice, I actually prefer the G3 voice, honestly. The kind of snotty, childlike tone really just fits for Pinkie Pie for me personally.
This is my book, and I'm gonna read it!
My, a little unicorn.
Wow, so you're a dragon?
And you're a long way from home.
You know where Unicornia is?
Now, Rarity is actually a pretty funny one. Voiced by Kaisley Wesluck, actually sounds a lot like G4 Spike. Okay, future blue here. While making the script, I forgot that the Spike from G4 and Rarity G3 is actually the same voice. So, yeah, just ignore this little bit. But it's still pretty creepy. Just listen to it.
It's not my fault. All I did was twirl the wand like this. Darling.
Now, the design is totally different. They don't even share a cutie mark. And there aren't even any colors that you could switch around to make it look like the G4 pony, except for the purple strands in the hair and the tail. I always find it weird how all the ponies in G3 and before that had so many different colors in their manes and tails. It makes the G4 ponies almost look bland. Could just be me though. Also, Rarity is one of the few ponies we see that aren't adults like the rest. And hearing her not say darling hurts my brain. But obviously, like most of you know, Rainbow Dash and Rarity actually just switched personalities and designs for G4. So I really don't need to talk about the personalities. Also, it's cool to note that Rarity in G3 was actually a princess. Yeah, take that, Twilight Sparkle. Rarity is cool too.
This is my book, and I'm gonna read it!
Now, even though Applejack has been around since G1, there actually isn't that many appearances of her throughout the generations. But there are some notable changes, so let's do it. So, we start with G1 Applejack, which design-wise is basically the same, except G4 got rid of the blue bow and lost a few apples. She obviously loves apples still in this version. However, she's actually pretty weak and known to be very unlucky, which is a total contrast from the G4 Applejack. Now, it's hard to compare the voices since we don't get much Applejack scenes in G1. Then, we turn to the G3 Applejack, which doesn't get much appearances in movies or episodes. Instead, she's only in merchandise. And it's not a good look for our girl Applejack. Hasbro decided to give her lime green hair and super dark fur. And her cutie mark is only one apple that seems to be on a blanket. She does, however, have green eyes, just like every other Applejack. So at least some things carry over. Yeah, so not much as I originally thought, but Applejack's G1 design is perfect in my opinion. But I do like the cowboy hat in G4. It fits more with her character. So yeah, that's about it for the main 6. I won't include Spike because I just want to focus on the pony designs. Though Spike's design has changed a lot, especially his personality, I'm here for the horses. So, another day, Spike. Lightning round! Okay, so I'm going to go over the other important characters in the series. Scootaloo. Some reason, not a filly, just as old as Pinkie Pie and the rest, but just as playful and daring as the G4 Scootaloo. Sweetie Belle. Same situation, not much design change or personality change. Apple Bloom. Surprisingly, never existed before G4, though it is speculated that G3's Apple Spice and Candy Apple were her inspirations. Rarity, originally called Cherry Blossom, looks the same as the G4 version. Sadly, she got little media attention, but is one of the most merchandised G3 ponies, which is actually pretty impressive. And I do know that Tularula and Coconut Cream appear in G4 as fillies, but their designs didn't change that much except for Tularula having bangs as a filly. So yeah, that was the design and personality changes of all the big characters in G4. I'm sure that there's a couple that I missed, and if that's the case, please point it out in the comments for me so I can do another video on it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed looking over this as I did. Not a theory video like usual, but I thought it'd be fun since I like making videos of all things My Little Pony. Except G5. But yeah, it's been your host Bluebo, and remember, it's not goodbye, it's see you later.